everybody, it's Carla. I'm back again with another play and make for the Crafting Shed Davies challenge that she's been doing on Saturdays. She introduces 3 colors and I think 3 different crafting elements, and you create with whatever she draws. And this week is week 10. I've only done week 9 and now my second one is week 10, and I have to say the reason I decided is I've been seeing everyone make their projects, and it's been really fun to see what they come up with, and it really stretches me because you never know what color she's gonna pull out. And like last time I did the yellow, gray, and I think it was white, and I made this journal cover, and I'm still not crazy about it because I had to use colors that I don't normally use, but it's actually been a good way to stretch me and cause me to create, kind of get out of my rut. So even though it's similar to the style I always use, it's certainly different colors, and this week is no different in that she pulled purple, red, and gray. So when I first heard those colors, I thought there's no way, I can't figure out anything to do with purple, red, and gray. And then probably as quick as I thought that, I thought about my Gypsy Paper Pad, which I absolutely love. This was gifted to me from the lovely Ruby. It's such a generous gift because this paper pad is gorgeous. And so the colors are all in here. And one of the things Jayne asks is that you start with something 6x6, and it could be fabric or paper, but since I had this paper pad, I knew I would be able to make it work. Now, saying that, the project I created is not exactly a paper card at all, but I did start with paper, which was a 6x6 square of the gray floral print paper from the paper pad. I also used one of the pages that has really fun collaged images on it. And because red was one of the colors, one page has this really pretty floral red paper. So on my final project are all of these things, and I also used this really pretty gray, it's like a lavender gray and cream ribbon. I was just amazed at how much it matches the actual paper, and because the flowers were stark white on the paper, I just used my little spray bottle of tea and I sprayed the paper, and it just toned it down just the right amount so that it wouldn't be too stark white. But now I will show you what I created with the things that Jayne came up with, which was the color red, purple, gray. We were to use a doily and a bow and paint. And here's what I made. And it is a tray. I'll take everything out first. And I did start with a 6x6 piece of paper, the Gypsy paper, and if you can see right here in the front is the gray paper, and I added some white paint just to make it look a little weathered. And I had this pretty vintage doily that I have chopped up mercilessly and used all over the tray. So if you can see, there's like little pieces of the doily just kind of hanging randomly around the edges of the tray. And I just love that it's just kind of peeking out in a real shabby kind of tattered way. And then you can see where I kind of aged it with some of the tea. And on the bottom it's like red bottom shoes, but I got a red bottom tray and I just striped it with a little bit of paint. I'm not sure that was as effective. That's not really the effect I was going for, but oh well, it's on the bottom. And I put some pearl feet, flatbacks for the feet. And inside I put a little glossy accent, and it's really not my friend. This glossy accent is like me trying to paint my nails. I never can do it without it smudging or having flaws. But I still kind of like the little bit of shine that it gets. And then I trimmed out the image with real lace. So that's what I did with the 6x6 paper, the printed one with the images, and then the gray floral one. And then I also trimmed it with some of this really pretty purple, I don't know if you can see that, purple applique, and I toned it down with a little bit of paint. The paint I used was this Deco Art Americana acrylic paint, and I just used a little bit, but if you can see on the flowers, I toned the flowers down a little bit with the paint. I stashed a really pretty little stick pin in there, and even the stamen of the flowers are color coordinated because they're gray. I tried putting some of the red stickles, but I sort of slowed down on that because I decided I didn't really want them as glistening, because this tray is just so shabby boho gypsy kind of vibe. I just like how kind of tattered and shabby it is. And then I also sprayed everything with a satin clear spray paint to make it a little stiff. Now the other element was a bow, so that's how I got the shabby little lace or ribbon bow. And you can see there's still some purple little flowers, a little rosebud, and a little bit of doily peeking out there. So I'll stop moving it around so you can see it a little better. Then to go inside, I made a little notepad, and the notepad I put 2 eyelets and another little pretty bow, and then again the glossy accents that I clearly bent it and cracked it a little bit, but the crackling kind of makes it look more vintage, I think, so I decided I was okay with that. And then it just opens up like so, and there is tea-dyed paper. This is really old graph paper. It's still in the package. I think my brother had it in high school or something. I found it in my mom's things, but the edges of it are yellowed, which is perfect for junk journaling. And then I just have some nice thin pieces of tea-dyed paper, doily paper with some of the graphed paper on it. And I made this little notepad so that you could just tear the pages out if you wanted to jot down a note. It just reminds me of one of those, sort of like the trays of note paper that you sit on your desk when you just need to write a note and run. This is some old vintage wallpaper. It's really thin. There's another one of the doily ones that I just added some tea-dyed paper to, and on and on. This is a piece of just writing stationery. It already had the pretty scalloped edges on it. Some more of the grass paper, stationery, doily, and then the back of the gypsy paper that was already lined. So there's a little notepad that's sort of identical to the paper that's inside of the tray, and that goes in there. And then last but not least, I decided to decorate a pencil. I still go back to the challenge that Angie Paisy did. Hi Angie, where she asked us to send her a decorated pen or pencil. It was one of my favorite and one of my first crafts that I ever entered into a challenge, and I've ever since been wanting to do decorative pencils and pens. So I decided, since I made the little notepad, I should make a pen to lay across it. So I just junked it up with this ratty little bow and the rose buds and the little lilac blooms, and I wrapped the pencil with this pretty vintage lace, as you can see, and then a dangle, and the dangle has more of the flowers and some really pretty beads. So I never thought about mixing purple and red, but I actually really like how this dangle turned out. And I put a little key on the end of it, and I just made it to lay across the tray. So this is my entry into Play and Make Saturday week 10 using purple, red, gray, a bow, paint, and doilies. And I actually am really happy with how it turned out. I'm not sure whose house this would match or whose decor this would match. I guess it doesn't really have to. And I love how this challenge has stretched me and really made crafting a little more exciting, because I'm using colors that I would never normally use. So I just thought I'd come and show you and share the challenge with you in case you get a chance to join in. She does a new drawing every Saturday with different colors and different things to create with. So it was fun showing you. I hope everyone is well. I made it through our first week of teaching. Thank goodness. It's Thursday, but everybody goes remote on Fridays. So that'll be nice. Even though we have school tomorrow, we can do it from our computers. And I am getting a little more of a hang of the technology side of it. So, whew, it's always good to get first behind you. So I'm feeling better, and definitely going to cut some time out for crafting this weekend. So thanks for watching, everyone. Have fun. Go over and see if you want to try the Play and Make. It's fun. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.